Hey guys, my name is Parker Stovall, and I'm here for Next Gen Preacher Search, and I'm going to talk to you all about grace. This is something we all need, guys. No one's perfect. We're all sinful. Like the great philosopher Hannah Montana once said, nobody's perfect. You gotta work it. Little opening verse I have is Acts chapter 15, verse 10. Now then, why do you try to test God by putting on the Gentiles a yoke that neither we nor our fathers could bear? No, we believed it is through the grace of our Lord Jesus that we are saved just as they are. What's that saying, guys, is Peter's telling them, you're telling the Gentiles to be a Christian, you need to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this. And that's not what it is. That's not like, none of us are perfect. None of us can do this, and this like they're telling the Gentiles to do. Peter gets up and says, you don't do that. Why are you telling them to do it? Instead of just telling them about the grace, about the thing that covers you when you're not perfect. Because that's what brings people to God. My second verse I have is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, excuse me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And what Paul is saying there is he was crying out to God, forgive me because I can't be perfect. And God says, I knew you were going to be tempted. I knew you were going to fall short. Because everyone does. It sounds pessimistic, but it's true. Everyone falls short of the glory of God. And what God's saying here is because I know that you're going to fall short, I've given you my grace, and it makes you perfect through your weakness. And I don't even see the blotches. Let's say God only accepts 20 feet tall people into heaven. I'm not 20 feet tall. If you are, that's probably bad and you should definitely go to a doctor. But I'm not 20 feet tall. I'm only 6'2". What this verse is saying is God knows none of us are going to be 20 feet tall. So grace picks up my other 13 foot 10 inches slack. That's a lot of slack it picks up. And it's a lot to be thankful for that I don't have to do, that it covers. So when I walk into heaven, God sees me as I'm 20 feet tall. My last verse I got is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 10. See to it that no one misses the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile the many. What that last verse means is, now that I've given you grace, now that God has given us grace and accepted us into his heart and into heaven, why would we sit there and keep it to ourselves? There's no point to that. There's no point to having a candle and just not letting anyone else see the light. He wants us to go and spread it to where no one else goes without the light, to where everyone has their own candle and everyone gets into heaven. Because I don't want to be the only one in heaven, guys. I want my friends to be in heaven. I want my family to be in heaven. I want people I don't know to be in heaven. I want everyone to be in heaven. Because the alternative is so much worse. But what I'm saying, guys, is the only way that everyone can get into heaven is if the people who already have the grace of God with them is to love all the rest of the people that don't have the grace yet and invite them into God so they can.